Hey guys, Andrew McFarland here from StartAJuiceBar.com. Hope you're feeling amazing, happy, healthy. And today we are talking about if you should actually purchase your equipment outright or if you should actually lease your equipment. Before we dive into today's video, if you guys are new to the channel and you don't know who I am, you don't know what we do for over the last 10 years, myself and my agency has had the pleasure of helping entrepreneurs like yourself launch and scale healthy food service concepts, juice bars, smoothie bars, acai bowl concepts all around the world, as well as running our own healthy food service concepts. So also, before we dive into today's conversation, if you haven't pressed the like button, this is an invitation to do so. This is going to expose more people to this content, and together, through empowering one another, we can make the world a healthier place, because what I've grown to learn is people need access. If people don't have access to healthy alternatives and the information and these hubs of community that are growing and getting healthier together, it's really difficult for individuals to grow on their own. So, without further ado, diving into today's topic of conversation, should you buy all of your equipment outright or should you lease your equipment? Now, some of you may not have known that that was even an option. A lot of times when you're going through your budget, most of the time, and this was including myself, very long ago, as an early entrepreneur, I always believed that if I'm going to have equipment, I need to buy it. But the truth is you can actually lease to own your equipment, right? There are companies out there who are willing to finance equipment leases. They will basically put liens on the equipment so that you don't actually own the equipment yet. You're leasing it, you're renting it, and they'll have payment terms in the same way that you will get a loan from a bank or a loan for something else. You'll be paying interest on this equipment, and that's good for the sake of not having to invest as much upfront in your equipment. What's the downside? Obviously, it's going to put more pressure on your cash flow. So overall, if I was to say, should you do one or should you do the other, it's going to be a matter of what your financial situation is. If you are in a situation where you don't have a lot of money, or maybe you started your build out and you started your process and you had some surprise expenses come up and you realize, wow, okay, I don't actually have as much to launch as I thought I did. And if that's it, you haven't purchased your equipment yet, then maybe you want to start exploring those options and seeing what kind of rates and terms you're going to get. You're going to end up spending exponentially more money than the value of the equipment itself, but that's sort of the give and take, right? You don't pay for it up front, but you're going to pay for it in magnitudes of the actual value of the equipment later on. Now, if you're someone who has enough capital and you can afford to purchase your equipment outright, then that might be the way to go, because you will not put as much stress on your cash flow, meaning your month-to-month expenses, right? And you'll also end up saving more money long term because you're not paying a lot of interest on a lease or a loan for that equipment. So I would say, for me, I would lean more towards purchasing the equipment if I had the capacity to, but it doesn't mean that I would rule out the option of leasing the equipment. And it doesn't also, for you guys to be aware, it doesn't mean that you have to lease all of the equipment. You might lease a fraction of it. It could be a certain number, right? You're going to find different terms that are coming with your lease based on how much people are willing to loan. Sometimes if it's a small amount, they might not be willing to do it because it's not enough for them to say it's worth their time and energy and paperwork and all that. They have to look at their business and make sure it's profitable when they put energy into things. Same thing for you. So I hope this at least exposes you to the concept that you can do this. This is an option for you, and that ultimately you have to, just like I've had conversations with you all about the difference between raising money from investors versus raising money from banks. Is one better than the other? No, they're just different, right? Depending, and each scenario is going to have its pros and cons. One where you're not giving up equity, but the other one where you're actually having to collateralize the loan, maybe with some asset. And then another one, you're giving up equity and you're having to deal with more investors. And so there's a myriad of ways to approach it. None of it's wrong or right, but I want to expose you guys to the options so you can explore those options and see what feels best for you. So if you guys haven't hit the like button yet, now's an invitation to do so if you like this content. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you definitely want to subscribe and then hit the notification bell so you get alerted anytime we release new videos. If you're not following us on Instagram, follow us at StartAJuiceBar. We're releasing content there every single day. You can also direct message me there on Instagram, or you can reach me personally if you want to send me an email at andrew@StartAJuiceBar.com. We have a full spectrum agency. Like I mentioned, we can help you with everything from start to finish if you want to go down that pathway. And then lastly, we have a podcast on Spotify. We have a podcast on iTunes. You can follow us at the Juice Bar Experts. And that's all for now. If you have any questions or comments, you know where that goes. And I'll see you guys at the next video. Take care. I hope you guys have been enjoying all of the content. If you're in a place where you are really inspired to start your juice business, but you're not exactly sure what the next steps are, for you, we've created a free ebook, The 15 Steps to Starting Your Juice Business from Scratch. This is going to give you an overview of everything that you need to do from just having a concept all the way to launching your business. Beyond that, if you're inspired to go even deeper, we've created an online course, the Juice Bar Master Blueprint, that is going to go into great detail into every single area of launching a successful juice business. There's links for both of these in the description below. I know you'll find a lot of value out of them. As always, wishing you guys a lot of success, and I'll see you at the next video.